Exhibit RPG.
Yo,
Gangsta great deal.
Imagine me with no imagination, no imitation, it's Exhibit M. It's my improvisation, hope I improved on what you thought was impossible. My impersonation of myself is mythological. Emperor Imhotep, I am a Saurus. I'm a monk up in the mountains meditating in the marshes, or in the magical forest smoking that Mary Jane, self-medicating myself. This world is so insane. I put my emphasis on things more important. Yo, it's M. Jordan, imparting wisdom with my performance. I'm immortal technically speaking, immaculately conceiving. Hit you with that Swahili greeting. Mama VP, I'm the one between the L and the N.
Most of you I know. Those that don't know me, my name is Balogun Ojay. I teach traditional indigenous African martial arts. Most of you always say, well, I've seen it, you know, on YouTube. That's not just with me, but I've seen that stuff, that mom stuff, you know, wrestling. And indeed, it is wrestling. If you look on Kumpa, he's filming. If you look on Jamazo's shirt here, it says Egbe Ogun. Egbe Ogun is what we call it. That's actually a society that I belong to. Egbe means society. Ogun is the spirit of iron and war amongst the Yoruba. So Egbe Ogun is a society of warriors. African arts, they're called really wrestling in whatever the language is. Because for us to wrestle is to put the person where on their what?
Back, belly, side.
On their back, belly, or side. That's all wrestling is. So if you take your stick and you hit somebody in the head and they fall, you've wrestled them by African standards. It's not just throws. If I shoot with the bow and arrow, if you look on the tombs of Mahers, you'll see bow and arrow used, you'll see stick used. If I use a grenade and hit you, boom, you probably will fall if I throw a grenade and hit you, right? You've been wrestled by African standards. So it includes weapons and everything of that nature. Our object is to not be wrestled. Because if you wrestle, if he's down, right, he's more open to a finishing technique from it. So we always want to wrestle our opponent. We want to do two things. We want to wrestle them. Mainly we want to get there by taking their back. The Yoruba say, if you give a man your back, you become a what?
Ancestor.
You become an ancestor. We know to be an ancestor, you got to leave this physical body. So we don't want to give the person our back because it makes it easy to go ahead and wrestle us, and then it makes it easy to go ahead and make us become an ancestor. Okay? So we learn to work on this ground. A lot of people say, well, most arts from Africa don't have ground fight. That's a lie, they all do. Once again, if you look on the tombs, you see them fighting on the ground as well. You cannot be vulnerable on the ground, and know this. Know that if I put you on the ground, you're more vulnerable, and you not know how to fight on the ground. In fact, most of you have probably heard of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, what they call Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. Originally, they would admit, until about 1994 when it became out there, they would admit that Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is a combination of Judo from a man named Maeda and Capoeira Angola. That's how Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu came into being. It's from Judo and Capoeira Angola. There was a man named Waldemar Santana who did Capoeira Angola, and he also did Judo under Maeda. He was best friends with Helio Gracie. He beat Helio Gracie. Dark black man beat Helio Gracie. The family couldn't take that. So they tried for 3 generations to beat him. Finally, one of the grandsons beat Waldemar Santana when he was about 60, and this boy's about 23. And they, yay! I mean, come on. 23-year-old man beat a 6-year-old man, yay! Come on. You know. So, but it took that long because he synthesized it. But Helio was his friend. He taught Helio. And so that is where a lot of people don't realize Capoeira Angola is used for ground fighting. All right? So we're going to do a little ground. We're going to start. Let's start from the choke. We earlier talked about, my student brought up about the choke. The choke's put on you. Very hard to get out, particularly if you're standing, right? He puts me in a rear naked choke. Helio, sit down. This is a rear guard. He puts me in a rear naked choke. We're going to work this first. First, we're going to do a combative rear naked choke. I'll talk about that in a second. But to get out, he gives you what? His feet. If his feet are here, go up there here. You never want to cross your feet. You never want to cross your feet from this position. Anybody know why? Other than those that I've told? When I caught, no. When you lock your feet here, you just lock over here. You you snap his ankle. So don't lock your feet. Use your feet like hooks in here. Or put them out here. Okay? He puts his feet here. He goes to lock. I immediately place my elbow on the inside of his leg. There's a pressure point here. It's your femoral nerve. It goes from all the way up by your groin down to your ankle. You place it here. You trap his leg between your thigh and your elbow. And then you grab his toe. Go ahead, grab. I've got a few seconds. I've got 4 to 10 seconds before he knocks me out. He doesn't get his 4 to 10 seconds. Because the pain that's here, a human being will always do more to escape pain than to gain pleasure. His pleasure is in choking me out. I put him in the pain of passing. Out from that, he lets me go. Human being will always do that. They'll do more to escape pain. Now, let's say he lays back, like they like to do in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He lays back. I lay on my side, still got it. Okay, so we're going to work that. First, I want to make a note about this rear naked choke. Can I get a knife, please? This is good for sport. Thank you. This is good for sport. My hand, see how my palm is facing away from me? And I can lock in. I want everybody to do this with your hands. Put your palm like this. You see the space in there?
Yes, sir.
Yes, you know, it's good for his neck. Now I want you to do it this way. Turn your palm towards you. You close off that much space. He has no space now. Tighter, but also combatively. You're doing this. You're in the midst of fighting. Oh, I'm cutting myself. You see it? He's struggling, and I'm cutting the mess out of myself. But if I put my palm towards myself, my knife is right here. I'm able to choke. After I got him,
Yes, sir.
good. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Then I can go to work. So keep that palm towards you. So remember, you had your weapon here. You don't want that pointing down towards yourself. And it's a tighter choke. Once you put the rear naked on, you don't go here. Don't do this. If I do this, he grabs.
Grab the hands.
He's got it. He locked it. Shoot this hand behind that little question mark. Hump in his head, okay? Now you put your head against his head, all right, and squeeze. Okay, expand your chest as you squeeze. That's how you do the choke. All right? So we're going to partner up. One is going to do the choke. And after he gets it a couple of times, gets you tapping. Then you switch. Then you're going to switch back. You're going to do the escape. So from here, lock it. Good. Go ahead, work. Have some fun.